searching the dark side of the mountain. Through my bones and hair and blood, words rise and cold snatched from my mouth to sink them into the cold black mud.
And when you're driving the man, he's like, so Evangeline, you sound like you come from more sources of money than the typical person in Guilty Hole. So what is it your parents do?
Yes, my father's a well-recognized doctor up in Boston. So is my brother. I have an uncle who's a well-respected lawyer. I come from a well-known family up there, the Blanks. Yeah, you might have heard of us if you've been up in the north at all. My mother doesn't do, well, rather anything but, frankly, drink on the vineyard. But
Sounds
that's
like
about
my
how she
mother.
spends her time. Yeah, that's
Minus
many
the
mothers, I
vineyard.
think. Yes. But I spend my time studying most of the time. I'm a sociologist and an anthropologist. I study people.
I don't even know what that means. You mean you put them in like boxes and study them and stuff? Like you learn what they do when they're like, how does that work? How do you study people?
I observe them and I speak with them. So I've come
That's
here.
a job?
It can be, yes. I study people and the way they behave and think. I came here because no one's been here before to ask anyone any questions, really. I think it's rather interesting how this town sort of lives in a vacuum and ideas have formed here on their own. And I want to share with the world how people believe and think here. I think it's new and interesting, and I want to share that with everyone. And I teach.
Can I get a perception check from everybody, please?
You sure can.
Oh,
What's
9.
the...
A 9. You need a better than a 3, so
I got a
10.
19 and I am trained.
Nice.
I'm trying to do math. Wait a minute.
That's
I'm doing math and
a
I'm
2 is a miss.
So
11.
we're
Wait.
trying to hit a 9 or higher, correct?
A 10
Unless we have
actually,
something
above a 9.
Oh, 10 or higher. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm trained in perception. So that's
He uses 1.
That's -3.
Yeah.
So you need a 6 or higher.
1 edge.
That takes it down another 1 notch, so you just need a 3 or higher. Or no, sorry. Yeah, 3 or higher. 3, 6, 9. Sorry.
Yeah.
How much does an effort get me?
1 effort will
Another
use
notch,
it.
but you also
Right.
lbe the points.
Yeah, you may
Yeah,
not want to
I wasn't
use
using
that.
it just yet.
Cool. Okay. Then I don't see anything.
All right, it's fine. Anybody who rolled a 10 or above, you see that out in the Guilty Hole is built in an odd way. The homes are built around a big field in the middle of them for the most part. In the middle of the field, you see Gazzy out there doing something like right near the tree. She is kind of looking up at where you're going, and she has put something in the ground. Jericho, you get the feeling she is trying to protect some people or some things.
I don't think he'd out her or anything, just kind of watch her in the moonlight and be grateful there's good folks around that understand how things work a little bit. I think Jericho's a little more focused on William at the moment, actually, because he's afraid of how William's doing with where we're going. But I probably wouldn't say anything about Gazzy.
Yeah, while you're paying attention to William, you notice that Brandy's hand is slipped over to the bag and is trying to unzip the little corner of it.
That is not how you become a game warden, ever.
Now watch your P's and Q's.
My apologies.
kids.
I'm just a curious kid that, you know how they say curiosity killed the cat? I think I'm on my last 2 lives the way I'm curious.
That's an interesting phrasing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna be there soon because it ain't that far up to there. Where are we dropping you off? You
if
know
I
what?
could real
Can we
quick-
just bring them to the party? We may not bring them to the
I was
party.
gonna
It is
say,
not
I don't know
our
if I'm that
party.
presentable. I'm sorry, Randy.
You know, Amber, if you wanted to bring us up to the house, we could probably find our way. I think we were going somewhere close. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I'm not the leader here. I'm just sort of an observer. But the way we were speaking, I do believe it was near that location. And by the way, your daughter's rather precocious. What sort of business are you getting up to tonight? You did mention business. So is it a party or is it business?
Our families, it is both. It is a board meeting. It is, I think, a bit of a shower, and we do it all together, all at once, to get it all done. Because honestly, I don't think most of us like each other that much.
That's often how it goes with large businesses. Is this an emergency board meeting? This is rather late at night. This is unusual, is it not?
We seem to always have they seem to always have their meetings at night. I don't know why.
Oh, they? Are you not part of the board?
I'm not on the board, no.
Oh.
None of us are on the board. Our mother's on the board.
Oh, my apologies for the presumption.
Yeah, maybe one day when she passes away, maybe I'll get that seat. And Steven
Do you have that
or me. And she looks at him like, yeah, right.
Do you have that ambition, Amber?
Oh, to be honest, I have no ambition.
Oh.
I'm just going with the flow at the moment. I kind of would rather not be here. I do not like these parties.
Why not?
Half the board is mean as a badger. The other half of them are cold and calculating folk. I do not understand half of what they say. I don't even like playing rummy, and that's what they start with every time we get together.
Huh.
Now might be a good time to start paying attention.
Why? You mean to rummy?
It's
Sure.
a great game, and it's fun to build community.
If you do want help navigating, I do have some experience navigating rich old men telling me how to think. We might be able to help.
Well, the board's mostly rich old women. There's only one man on the board.
Oh, that's modern. I appreciate that. Either way, stuffy old people telling you how to think is something I'm rather used to.
Okay, so let's say we go up to I'm going to this party. They look down upon all of us that are younger than them, I suppose.
Typical.
And every time there's a conversation that matters, it seems like it's half the time in code. When it's not in code, they tell us we need to leave the room, or they leave the room and they go and have cigars out on the balcony. And how do you get involved if you aren't allowed to be involved?
Aren't you 10?
No, this is the.
No,
No,
this
this
is Amber
is
the mother.
this is Amber.
Well, usually I just simply barge in and just ask questions on my own. That's how I've made a career. But
Show interest.
yes,
Genuine interest.
Sneak in.
all that. I
Any of
usually
those
choose the
things.
front door.
Show initiative.
I think
People tend to
Jericho
like that.
doesn't care at all about this lady's self-help class right now, and is like, Annie, what are we doing? And just letting them
And you feel
kind
the
of talk.
car kind of starting to hit the hillside, so you're starting to go up the hill.
I whisper over to Jericho and I'm like, well, I was thinking we can go a couple 100 yards yonder from the house and maybe see if we can discuss a plan on how to flush out the voles. Maybe we can discuss the nature of the voles, and maybe even one of us can go in to
We
the
do have
tunnel.
a fancy lady
Scope
with
it
us.
out.
Yeah, maybe just to get a feel for it. I don't mind going in as well, as I am an officer of the law.
That sounds real good, Sarge. I mean, Annie. We can do this.
Yeah. And I look at Jericho and I go, Yeah, we can, soldier. Yeah, we can.
Big bag of guns, big bag of arms.
I mean,
I can get you in. I play out
That's
in the
very
yard
sweet of you,
half the
sweetie.
time anyway. All I gotta do is say, "Come on in," and open the door. It'll be open.
And you know, Brandy, Amber, your daughter has taken quite a shining to Annie-Lynn. If you needed someone to govern the child while you were trying to mingle with the old people who tell you what to think and do, trying to make an impression, that would be an opportunity to do so and have someone govern her and entertain her for the time being.
I would love to.
happy to babysit.
Make me a persuasion.
Me?
I think this is Evangeline.
Oh, Evangeline. Okay.
Good.
And if any point, oh, sorry, Evangeline.
That's a 9, but I'm trained.
Okay, so it's eased by one. Just take us to the house. I'll ask, see if it's okay. If I can't promise nothing. It's not our party and whatnot.
Do we want to give away that we're here at the front door? If they just say no.
We
'Cause
have other ways of looking in.
Hiding
Yeah.
out and scouting seems a little better than knocking and asking.
Yeah, we gotta check the Vol situation anyway first.
All right, then.
And if Annie and the little girl are ever kind of having an exchange, Jericho would love to be able to whisper to William a little bit on this drive.
Can I
For
get
sure.
a perception check from those in the rumble seat?
Is that me, I think?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
back there.
I got
Jericho's
a
back there.
three of
A
William's
us.
back there.
19, a beautiful 19.
Oh, nice.
I am trained in perception.
I got a 16. Thank God.
I thought you held it
fucking
before.
20!
Oh.
Ah!
So Brandy takes out her notes and she says, "I'm going to write all your names down." And she goes back a page or two, and you see on one of the pages, Love Mansion Party, and it says Isabeau Love, Margaret Idle, or Grammy Idle, Samuel Elders, Yuck, Sela Kazaya, Benjamin Fillmore, Kinley Fillmore, Patrick Wallard, Keep Away, Creepy, TJ Booker.
Girls a knock.
And she flips the page again to all right, what are all your names? I need to know who I'm dealing with and who are going to become my, I don't want to say closest friends, but my closest adult friends.
Well,
Because
and
you all
like
do
kind of
cool
like
things.
rotating so she can see me in the face. You can call me Will.
All right, Will. You got strong arms. You look like you could really beat somebody up if you needed.
Yeah, I can.
Do you do that?
Not for a living.
Okay.
Jericho ignores her because they're off to do dirty work, and entertaining this child in their rich car is not anything that matters to him in the slightest. He just lost a good friend too tonight.
Hatman. And you're Annie.
Annie-Lynn.
Annie-Lynn. All right. And inside the car, who are those? Who are your friends? Are they family or friends?
Very close friends.
They're family
They
to me.
can tell you their
but-
names. I mean, they want.
I'll ask them later. It's fine.
Might be once.
And you feel the road level out, and you are pulling up and turning left down the road towards the mansion, and you know that you're probably a few hundred yards away from where the ground opens up to the mansion, yard. Are you going to get out here to do your Vol work, or do you want me to bring you all the way to the house?
Yeah, we can walk up to the house if we need to investigate any more. But right now, my main priority is to talk to everybody about getting this Vol situation in order, if you know what I mean.
We'd rather not interrupt the party if we don't have to. We're just out
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for bowls.
All right, y'all can hop out then. And Brandy scowls at her. All right, and she She gets out of the rumble seat. She climbs into the back seat. Nice to meet the two of you. What are your names? Can I write them down or like?
Oh, yes, of course. And she will pull out from like a jacket pocket her card, which will be
Of course
monogrammed,
you have one.
and like gold inlay, and she'll hand it over. Evangeline, Antonia Blank, here.
Oh my gosh! You have a beautiful card.
Now that's some real gold too. So if you can get that, you can scratch that off.
I'm
Yeah,
not
scratch it
scraping
off.
that off. This is like art. It's not something you scrape off.
That's real
Thank you for
gold.
understanding.
And then
William.
she forgets for a moment that she'd asked both of you and Volney. It seems like she almost forgot you were even there when she
Entrepreneur
was so
my
caught
ass.
up in the card.
Oh, and this is Volney. Volney, introduce
Volney.
yourself.
Hello there, child.
Thank you. What happened to your back? You look like you got stuck.
That's a great question. I hope to find out tonight.
Put on some clothes.
Oh,
Volney.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's close.
I don't think there's a doctor here. Okay. To each their own, I suppose. All right. Thank you. Well, I hope we get to meet again. I'm very interested in the animal job. I think that's kind of cool. Not cool. I think that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is an exciting job. It's a thankless job, and trust me, you'll be dealing with a lot of bureaucracy, as it were. Maybe it's best to stick to your banking and whatnot. There's a bit more money in that.
Oh no. That will not do. And she hops in the back seat and closes the door. I hope to see you again soon. Good luck on your vole hunting.
Thank you.
And the car rolls away.
Freaking rich kids. Oh my god.
No, it's all right. Ain't no harm in her. I'm just worried she took my name down.
That's why I only said my first name. Gosh dang it.
Eh.
Okay. Down to business. I have something that can help us see from far away. Kind of like a telescope, but it's a little different. So it might be useful to see in the house.
Can see through walls, William.
No, not see through walls. It's a falcon's eye.
Beautiful. Beautiful work.
A what?
And like from his pocket, you see him pull out a figure, like a little sculpture of a bird's eye carved from a dried, says dried beech. And to activate it, you hold your hand over your left eye and look through it with your right, and you can see 10 times as far as normal for 1 hour per cipher level, and it's 1d6 for the cipher level, so I haven't rolled for that.
Give it a roll. Let's
That's
find out how
something we
good
can
it is.
Mm-hmm.
By golly.
Okay.
Look at William. All you acting like magic's a big surprise.
That's a 6.
Oh,
Most of
So
the
I
night you will
can-
have.
60 feet, I can see.
All right. There are a bunch of cars up ahead, and you can see, in where the tree line breaks, there are all these cars out parked in the front. More cars than there are spaces for them, so a lot of them are parked on the grass. And you are out here in the woods. And it is dark, and it's chilly.
Cold tonight.
And there are no voles nearby that you can see.
Annie, what if, here's an idea if everyone's all right. Annie, what if you get all these guns like loaded, put together, all that? William and I can just scoot a little bit forward so he can see with his strange bird eye a little closer, and then we can come back and report on what's a little past the parking lot.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. And I just like crack open the bag and just instinctively like start loading shotgun shells in, like doing all this shit. I'm just like
I go to like pat Volney's shoulder, but leaning close and be like, do not let a thing happen to her, Volney. I know Miss Blanc has a gun. I'm not worried about Miss Blanc. William, let's go. Let's sneak.
Okay.
All right. So you go sneaking ahead. Are you sneaking up along the road? You going in the woods? How you doing it?
I'll let him guide. He sees from above.
I was gonna say, I think we're not seeing from above. We're just seeing. I can see 60 feet. Basically, I've zoomed in vision.
All right.
I think we're gonna stay maybe 20 feet off, off the road, but still kind of following the road, so we can have that direction. And
the road is a flat level that's been cut out of the hillside. So 20 foot off the road also means you're probably about 8 or 10 feet up in the tree line, kind of walking along it. So you have a vantage point from that perspective also.
Perfect.
Quick word, William. We might be heading into something ugly.
No shit.
I'm fully aware of it, and I've seen your face, and I feel it. Annie has a violence that needs to get out right now, and we need to keep her alive and keep that violence focused. She shot a car tire, William.
I know.
So we just need to give her a target that has justice involved with it. And we just need to keep it as close as we can and keep her safe if she just collapses and finally realizes what happened to her dad. I know this is a bad idea, but
it's a really fucking bad idea.
But who else do you do bad ideas for but for friends? What else? Who else would you do them for? I'm willing to make a bad idea for Annie, whose mother and father in life has been completely ruined by these forces that, frankly, William, you have not grown up under. These are still new for you here.
Here. Not necessarily that I haven't grown up under.
And I think that moment you see Jericho's eyes soften towards you. Like, I didn't mean it like that, William. I'm sorry. He was my friend, too. I'm sorry.
The Idols, they did something, too. Back home. If it wasn't just me. So, I have some debts to settle with them as well. But I'd much rather have a conversation before we start shooting up a house.
Then we better talk quick once we get there, is all I'm predicting. But as a second son to a second son, I'm with you on this, William. I promise you I'm not going off the handle. I'm trying to guide chaos.
I trust you in that. You know her better than I do.
Yeah, Annie's one to know. As much as these mountains make their storms a little wild and a little calm, Annie grew up here, and she resembles these woods more than I do. Let's see what we can see, though. Are you all right? Your sister's in town, William. I mean...
She's asleep in the hotel, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Well, let's see if maybe out of all this we can help your family, too.
We'll see.
You'll see.
God damn it.
Hawkeye.
And you get to a good vantage point on the edge of the tree line. And the one good thing about this home is that it has the biggest, tallest, widest windows you have ever seen in your life. And they wrap so much of this house is just glass. You don't even know how they keep the thing warm in the winter and cold in the summer.
House so fucking big. I don't. It's fucking ridiculous with that. So few people living in it normally. That's why I have something. Whatever.
It's almost enough of a reason right there, isn't it? Sorry.
Is it really that big?
It's a pretty big mansion. It is not like... It is a big mansion for an Appalachian mansion on the side of a mining community.
Like a 2-story
it is not
whole
like
shebang.
It's not like a mansion on the hammocks or in the Boston area where you grew up. But it's obviously money.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you see any
biggest house I've ever seen,
William? Is there a gate? Do you see anyone with guns? What can you see from here?
What can I scope out?
All right, you start looking around, And as you're watching, you see that there are a few men there that are very tall and a little bit sallow. You know, they probably are good 6.5 feet tall, each one of them, barefoot, basically dressed like, you know, torn pants. There's nothing fancy about their dress. Some are
Cello
chewing on
boys.
straw and
Cello boys.
kind of old-timey hats with wide brims, that kind of stuff. And they're walking around. As you're watching, you hear from behind you somewhere footsteps and some kind of a clunking like sound. And when you look around off to one side, you see there are 10 or 12 of these men coming down with looks like a wheelbarrow with a cloth over it or something. And they kind of come off the edge of the hill, and they're just walking straight up there. And what are you doing?
William, look there with your falcon eye. Look there.
I know. I'm looking.
Sorry, William.
The cloth's over it.
When you
Not
look,
much I can do.
there's a hand kind of sticking out from under the cloth, and it kind of moves. It kind of like, you know, like people do when they're just fidgeting and doing nothing. And the more you look at it, you realize it's not really so much a wheelbarrow as like a rolling device for someone who maybe is old. The wheels are made of
Like
wood. They're kind
wheelchair?
of roll. Huh?
Wheelchair?
Yeah, maybe a wheelchair. I'm not sure you ever seen a wheelchair, but yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, like a chair on wheels. And they kind of get up to the house, and they say a few words to the people that are there, and they open the door, and they let one of them in, and one of them rolling in the wheelbarrow thing. And the
I
other
think
one
there's a person in that,
kinda
like, it's kind of
stay
like
out.
a chair thing. I don't know. Jer, have you seen anything like that where it's like a chair,
After he
but
would
it has
describe
wheels on the
all
side?
of it, she needed a new body, right? That's what we saw in the vision. After she was hurt, she talked about needing a new body.
Vessel, I think.
Did it look like an injured person or an old person being carted around, William?
It looked like an old hand, not a new hand.
I mean, the
Not
hand
a
was kind of
youthful
wrinkly.
hand.
I still have Barbara
Yeah.
in my jar. Okay.
Why'd you take that? Why'd you bring the fucking hand?
And it's like another
Name
inch
one
longer.
better place in the world to bring her, William.
The end of a pier?
We're all going home sooner or later.
What are the rest of you doing back behind?
We
hiding
can
out in
start
the
scooting
woods?
back towards the group.
Annie is singing
Is what?
really ominous. Annie is singing a song really ominously,
Okay. That was
and it's
unexpected.
like weird, like Appalachian hymns that are really like quasi-religious, but just very like dissonant, like almost like a sailor singing something at night, very eerily. And I'm just sitting there, just like singing and humming to myself while I'm like just putting all the guns in order, and I'm just like focused on the guns.
Evangeline will be taking notes on those hymns, scratching away. And she'll
Okay.
probably pause because she's so impatient. She'll just be like, Volney, are you okay?
To be honest, I don't know.
It sounds like you've been dealing with a lot too. Are you feeling okay? The stuff on your back, is it painful?
Only when pulled or prodded at.
Otherwise, no?
I don't think so.
Okay. And it doesn't... I haven't looked at it, but no one seems to think it looks wrong? Like, it's not, like, tumorous or irritated or pussy or anything? It's just sort of
They
there?
said there were feathers in it.
Well,
at the church.
I guess that could be worse.
That's true.
I mean, feathers is better than scales?
That's true.
Or teeth?
Or shadows.
Yeah. Well, that would be strange. Feathers, I guess, has positive connotations. Could I perhaps take a look? I won't poke or prod, I'm just curious. If you don't mind, and if it's strange, that's fine if you say no.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll look, I won't touch.
You ain't never seen nothing like that.
It is rather bizarre. And you said you were above the ground when you woke up?
Yes.
Were you lifted by something?
I was above the ground and I was being lifted.
And then this happened.
This was here.
It's rather strange.
It is.
And you were asleep, you said.
I was for a time.
What sort of dreams did you have?
I don't think anything.
Just blank.
I don't remember.
Okay. Fascinating. Any other thoughts about what this could mean?
I don't know. I really don't like it.
I mean, I can imagine your body changing like this. It's unpredictable and strange and out of your control. I don't blame you. But we're here.
We are.
And you hear whistling from up the road. Not on the side where the house is, but coming from the other side.
Quick, Annie. Let's get off the road. Quick.
Yeah, off the road. Behind them trees.
Yes.
And I just like ready like the hunting rifle and I'm like,
Do you hear that
Go
whistling,
for it.
William? I thought I heard Annie singing old songs of mercy and blood, but now I hear it whistling.
And there's an old man coming up the road,
that?
kind of, got, clothing for proper cold weather. And he's walking with a little bit of spryness to him. His hands, as he gets closer, you can see are kind of weathered and like the hands of a craftsman, perhaps, like callous, hard, like that kind of stuff. What y'all doing there? And he pulls a knife out. I am not going to go down easy if you're here to rob me, just so you know.
Do I look like a woman ready to rob?
do I know who this is? Is he a town person?
He is somebody you have seen once or twice come into town. He is apparently a tile maker or something, but he lives on the side of the mountain opposite the mine, and you've never talked to him or met him, but you've seen him once or twice.
He's the weird-ass partner with the bankers and everyone that made no sense because he was a tile person.
Huh.
My friends are hunting voles.
Yeah.
I'm observing.
You, seen any voles around here? And I look at him like dead in the eye.
And he smiles a little bit. Voles, huh? You're that ranger or whatever, the person that checks on the beasts and tries to tell people not to make a living off the food that they need to eat and stuff. Tell them they can't kill for food. Isn't that right? You're like you give them paper that tells them that they are breaking the law or something.
No, food. Food is fine. It's just sometimes people come down here and they take too much. You know what I mean? They take too much.
No, I don't know what
nature.
you mean. I don't know how much animal you think someone can eat that it's too much to take from what the good Lord has given us. If I remember correctly, we are the stewards and we are allowed to take what we need when we need it.
Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Are William and I close yet?
I have seen your paper tags on trees and such around on people's homes and whatnot. Anybody ever pay one of those things? Ever?
Once or twice.
Do you have the power to
them.
arrest, by the way?
I have the power to hold, but not arrest, no.
Well, he pulls his pockets out. I got no voles on me.
Right. If I may ask, it's quite late at night. What are you doing out?
I don't think I'm required to answer questions. You're not the sheriff, as far as I know. I'm allowed to be out after dark because I am an adult. I am not a child. I am 96 years old. I think I'm old enough to be out after dark. Although I've heard all the rumors you should not be whistling at night in Appalachia, but I ain't
You really
afraid of
shouldn't
no
be.
boogers. What?
Does he look 96?
He looks old, but you don't know how old.
Yeah, you look pretty good for your age. 96? Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My heart has been blessed.
Indeed. You going up to that party up there on the mountaintop right there?
I am. Your pappy's pretty old. A lot of people in this town live to be very old. Don't you? You know that, right? You Biddle, she's over 100. I mean, this town makes some pretty old people.
My pappy?
Yeah.
And then just like Annie goes like fucking Kill Bill comatose, like, oh yeah. Yeah, my pappy, ain't he?
Does Volney see her face change?
Oh, yeah. I don't think Annie's capable of hiding it at the moment.
I think Volney's getting ready to like grab her if she tries to do anything.
Well, I have to proceed to my goings. It was nice to finally meet you after all these years. You've been growing up in this town for a while.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, get out of here.
And he
Have a
starts
good one,
whistling,
sir. Popping out of the woods.
And he looks around, just make sure there's no more. And he looks for a moment and he puts his knife back away.
I'd recommend that.
Lumberjack.
Did you find any voles, William?
Not yet,
And
necessarily.
he looks around.
Who's-
So there's
who's
like a
that
whole
man,
bunch of you
Annie?
out here looking for voles.
Yeah,
Yes,
well, they're an invasive
Don't-
species.
indeed.
I don't know what you mean by an invasive species. That it's an animal's an animal. It lives where it is.
An animal that spend too much time in an area it ain't supposed to spend time in. Now how about you make like a vole and go find somewhere else to invade?
And he turns and starts walking away and whistling.
Just
I'm-
putting a hand on Annie's shoulder.
Same.
It's just because she's got like 2 pistols now at her hips and she's just been like doing that like
And
cowboy stance the whole time.
he looks over his
Hey.
shoulder every now and then just to make sure ain't no one coming up on him.
Oh, I'm walking up on him.
From behind
Well-
or from the front?
Oh, I'm not hiding it. Like just
Oh.
approaching, not running. Just
You see him
approaching
put his hand
very-
towards, onto his knife. He doesn't pull it.
I'm just gonna get close to him and just look at me like, I see you.
You're that
I'm not like them.
grandpappy.
I see you.
You're that grandpappy witch, right? The one that
Yeah,
lives
and
out
you're
in the
something I'm
woods.
about to forget, and I'm just gonna turn around and walk away. That wasn't a man, Annie. I don't know who that was, but that wasn't a man.
What do you mean?
Are the guns loaded?
Oh, they're loaded, stuck up like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're stuck up and loaded, that's for sure.
When an old man comes whistling in the woods at night, don't whistle back, Annie.
Shit.
Why? What does that mean?
It's like trick or treat. Shh. William, tell her what we saw.
Think there was an older person in like a chair with wheels being wheeled into the house. There are some of Sidora's boys are there, looking as creepy as fucking always.
Did you see her?
Not her.
I was like fucking dagger eyes into your soul.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is like he had rotated, like still hand on your shoulder to like kind of block your view of. I can't say for certain if I saw her. I just saw someone covered in a wheelchair. It could have been her, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't know for certain. I'd have to get a closer look, and I don't know if I can risk that without something happening. I'm willing to try. Got a good amount of time on this.
It feels like we're being
And
surrounded.
the whistling
Annie.
fades away as he gets closer and closer. You know, it gets further from you and closer to the Love's house.
One more person walks out of this dark at us. I might lose it a little bit, Annie.
Jer, you should be stable right now.
That's right. That's right. Let's go to a party.
And you hear the sound of a mule and something pulling, and it's pulling something up the hill.
Ah, damn it. Guys, side of the road. We got it. Calm the fuck down.
Come on, can you use that thing to see what that mule's pulling?
I'll go look.
Yeah.
It is a cart, like an old-timey cart, and it says on the side of it, T.J. Booker. And on it, there are
Fucking TJ.
barrels and bottles and all sorts of, well, goodies for a party.
Mr.
Fucking TJ.
Booker.
What?
No.
Oh, my God. You're not here to steal this, too, right?
Oh, I'm not here to thieve anything. I just wanted to say hello.
Wait, what?
Your
Someone
pa
stole
owes
something?
me a truck, Annie-Lynn. I expect to be what's that word? Recompense for that thing.
We found your truck in the woods. No one stole anything.
Why, I'm sorry. You said my pa stole your car?
Yes. He was
Are you
seen.
sure about that?
Yes. Well, unless you're calling my brother a liar. He said he saw your pa.
Hold on.
Okay.
Now, how much drink did he have beforehand? Is the question.
Hold on. One moment. And Evangeline's gonna just rush over to Mr. Booker, and
he backs up a little bit, like nervous.
No, come. Let me speak to you for a moment. And she's gonna like go bring him over to his like cart. Annie-Lynn's father died this evening. And it's rather sensitive. So,
He looks over your shoulder at Annie-Lynn for a moment.
Annie, is she betraying us?
No.
There?
just want you to know,
Down.
I do not believe he stole your vehicle. I will say, I did drive your vehicle. He was hurt in the woods. I found your vehicle. It was a bit damaged. It is still operable. I will send money to have it repaired.
Well, I appreciate that, Ms. Blank, Ms. Blanc. May I go speak to Annie-Lynn? I'd like to apologize and give my condolences. I didn't know nothing about that.
I would urge you to save your condolences for later. Just simply, if you wish to apologize, just briefly, just say sorry for the outburst, and that's it for now.
What are
She's
y'all
not in a
doing
state
out-
to really speak about it. Just, I wanted to give you a heads up.
What are y'all doing out here? And y'all got guns?
We're bull hunting.
And he looks down at the party and back at you guys.
Two
Fucking
things. One
voles.
is we're out vole hunting, which is absurd, I know, but I'm here studying to watch them. B, we were partially invited to the party, and we were actually just going to turn on our way because the vole hunting is sort of a crapshoot.
You play craps?
Occasionally.
Remind me to talk to you about that later, because odds aren't in your favor. You know that. You should know that.
They never are, but it's fun nonetheless. If you wouldn't mind us walking with you, we can help keep you safe from being thieved again. And you can help us find our way.
Sure. I had to use the mule tonight because because my truck was gone. I didn't.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
so-
the poor bootlegger. My heart, it breaks.
Well,
Mine certainly does.
Come on then. Evangeline has explained some things to me, and if you'd like to come help at the party or something, I guess you could do that. She said you were invited already, so you don't even need to do that.
Yes, Amber had partially invited us, and we were going to go check and see if it was okay. The party did sound fun.
I'm ready to go. I know Annie's real excited to get dancing.
Still just a hand on Annie's shoulder, just like, and also like now on Jericho's, just on either side of them, just being like, like stabilizing.
Yes,
Being,
it would
like,
be good to
providing
raise some
weight.
spirits.
Jericho's
Yeah.
body language is a little more stiff, a little more at attention.
Yeah,
Ms. Blanc,
let's go.
there
Let's
is
go raise some spirits.
there is kind of a tension in the air around here that is making
It's
me
palpable,
a
isn't it?
bit nervous. Did I step into a hornet's nest?
No.
I think we have to.
It has been a difficult evening, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Some stresses are a little high.
And
Volney, you had something to say?
I'm going to whisper to Annie-Lynn. Annie,
Yeah.
let me try to talk them into some complacency first.
What do you
See,
mean?
Let's see if I can hold them still long enough.
People in the house?
You bet.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Let's guard these booze up to that party. Doing our civic duty, I whisper to Annie, William thinks that I'm going to help you tone it down. I think I calmed him down for a second, but he's a good boy, Annie. He won't be down for blood. You know it.
Yeah, I know it.
All right,
It's fine.
all right. I'm here, though. Here, drink water.
and you feel you hear the mule kind of pull and the wheels start to roll forward. Let's go. They're going to be hopping mad at the lateness of this booze.
Well, then let's step on
I
it.
mean, of this apple
Let's
cider.
go.
Hate to ruin the
Apple
day.
cider, sure.
And y'all head towards the party, and he keeps looking back at Annie and at Jericho and William and Volney, and then he looks at you. Evangeline, are you sure they're okay? They do not look. They look concerning to me. Never mind. And he just
They're
keeps going.
stressed. Mr. Booker,
I'm stressed.
yeah, I can imagine. We're trying to lighten the spirits a bit, and I thought an invite to a party made sense. And they did too.
As
Thank
we're
you.
walking, I would like to just kind of, while I still have this cipher up, just to scope just our complete surroundings, seeing if there's anybody, any of Sedora's people, anybody else in these woods following us as we're going through, because we are very much out in the open now.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, you're looking around. Make me a perception check. You have 2 levels of easing. You're shooting for what normally would be 4, so you're now at 2.
And I'm also trained in perception, so that's down
You're
to
one.
a 1, so I just got to get a 3 or higher.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
All right. So you're looking around, and you don't see people, but you do see animals out there. There are some crows, and there's a coyote here and there that you see, and just the normal things at night.
Okay.
Watching him look through the stone, like, Annie, if Volney's an angel, and William's kind of our guardian angel right now, what do you think about Miss Blanc?
I think everybody needs somebody who's smart. You know what I mean? I don't know what the word for it is, but I have an 8th grade education. I can't speak for most things, but
At least she'll
I
write
think
our book.
she knows things, you know, she knows things a lot of people don't know, and that comes in handy. She could speak the rich people
She
language.
could. Yeah,
You know what
she's
I mean?
real good at it.
Yeah, I ain't ever heard anybody talk with flowery words and anything like that.
If we weren't all about to die tonight, I'd say they'd make wonderful parts of the community.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah.
Kind of as they're talking, still like in between them hearing this conversation. She definitely has a way of endearing herself to people, that's for sure. As I'm just kind of scoping everything out.
Drink some water, William.
And TJ says to you, Evangeline, so did Sela try and get with you? I know she had eyes for you at the party, or not the party before, when I saw you guys in the street. You know, it ain't none of my business.
She did pay me a visit. It didn't go as well as I think I might have hoped, unfortunately. Yes, it ended up, we'll call it awkwardly.
Oh, that's too bad. And you pull through, and the trees suddenly open up to what is a large grassy area with the road kind of going into a big circle right in front of the house. And there are automobiles kind of pulled into the grass all over the place. And there are only the two of the tall strangers by the door. Everyone else seems to be gone somewhere else. And he pulls up. I got the booze. I got the apple cider. And one of them, it's not quite a smile, but it's like just a slight lifting of a lip. And he opens the door. All right.
You sell his boys? Speaking to one of the stiffs.
You can go in. Y'all have to wait out here, I think. Unless they're with.
Oh, but I'm helping TJ carry the booze in. Cider.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're here for that. All right. You can help carry the booze in then, I suppose. All right. And he opens the door and just steps aside. Go on then, get it in. They're waiting.
Glares at Jer and Annie. Just like kind of just says, I'm under my breath before I leave. Stay here for now. I'm scoping out the house, okay? Figure out where she is.
Can we at least unload the booze? It'll look kind of weird.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Come on.
Thanks, William. You know I love a party.
Yeah, I start helping unload the booze, and I have the leather bag with my shotgun in it. I have 2 pistols strapped to my hip, and then I still have my rifle attached to my back, but I have the shotgun in the other bag.
And when you go in, they are sitting around a big round table playing cards of some kind. I don't know if any of you know Rummy, but it looks like playing cards. And you hear one of them, Jennifer is talking one, say they're going to ruin the business and reduce profits just because of an occasional death. People are prosperous enough if they have the Lord. And they all laugh at that. And Keziah says, I love the Bible verse for this sort of stuff. What did it say? Blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom of God, or something like that. I want all my workers to be blessed. And they all laugh. And they chuckle. The ones that chuckle, 1 or 2 of them they just sort of smile a little bit. Really, that's the card you're playing? You know it's teams, right? One of them says to another one. I know. Oh, finally. Thank God. TJ Booker, you have finally made it. I am thankful for the Lord for the apple cider you are delivering tonight.
Happy to oblige.
William's just biting his whole tongue and just smiling because William told him to.
And one of them looks over at you. So you're working for TJ now? You work for at the sawmill, don't you? You were the sawmill worker if I remember rightly.
One of many, sure.
Those look like pretty good muscles for carrying barrels and bottles and whatnot. I'm happy to have that arrive.
Who's speaking to me?
This is an old man that you don't know.
But he
Fair
likes your
enough.
muscles.
Benjamin, can you please give the boy a tip when he's done? Make sure that they get their tip. We got them, they're doing a hard job in the evening on it's just the right thing. And this kind of older, not as old as the other one, man, kind of stands up. Yeah, of course, I'll take care of it. He doesn't sound like he's from around here. Here, let me see what I got for you. And he hands you a dime.
I'll take it. Where are you from, friend? That's not...
I'm from Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
Brings you down to these parts.
My friends are here, and we're talking business tonight. So, that's what business people do sometimes. They get together to converse and discuss business things.
Suppose that any of that stuff kind of goes over my head, but I can appreciate it. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without business.
Yeah, you can all
Suppose.
put it right over there. And they walk over there with you. And as they're walking over, you realize that near the booze is that wheelbarrow thing. And there's one of the boys standing over near there, but looking into the kitchen and kind of walks towards the kitchen. I'll be right back, Mama. Heads back. And the man that was with you, he turns around. Is there more of it, Mr. Booker? Is there more coming? Oh, yeah, there's more on the card. I'm well stocked for the evening.
Is William the only one that sees the wheelbarrow?
Yeah, he's right there near the wheelbarrow.
Okay.
No one else is near him. You see a
Can I,
hand kind of sticking out. And there's like a cover, a blanket that's kind of hanging low over her face and everything. It's very cozy and warm, it looks like. Whoever it is there. That's there.
Yeah, I think playing the good old boy country bumpkin just kind of sets the thing down, has taken his tip, and has kind of crouched down to kind of get eye level or see up, and just says, "Well, howdy, Granny. How are you doing this evening?"
And she looks down at you, and you see into there, even though it's relatively dark, and you recognize a face that you've never seen in real life, but from a dream you had the other day, a vision, but an older person. But oh my God, it looks like an old Annie, an old Annie. And she kind of looks down at you, and she puts her hand on your hand that's putting the thing down. You look like a good boy. I want to thank you for bringing all this stuff here. They're all going to be drunk soon. I think so. It'll be weird, when a bunch of people drink together. Sorry, you have to do all the hard work while they do the nothing work. I think. What's your name?
Can't say that I didn't. You can call me Bill.
Bill. That's a nice name. You from around here?
Folks back. Not far, but not from Guilty Hole.
Is that where we are? We're in Guilty Hole?
Yeah, where are you from?
I haven't been here in a long time. I was here a long time ago. I'm from the woods now, I gotta take care of all my boys. There's dozens of them. I gotta keep fed and whatnot, so
Yeah.
take care of them.
What's your name, ma'am?
And she looks around for a moment. It's go on. They're gonna start wondering where the rest of their booze is. You can go.
I know, we got some other folks coming
thank you
to help.
for a few kind moments. It was nice meeting you, Bill.
Ma'am?
And then you see a kid come running towards you, but not one that you recognize, like a 6-year-old. And grabs onto your arm. Look at the muscles! Looks like you have a way with children.
Male, female, apparent gender?
Looks like me, but little.
Not really sure. Probably, I don't know. I don't think you would know.
Fair
At
enough.
6, it's really hard to know sometimes. If they're not dressed in a specific way.
Hey, little one.
Come.
How you
And
doing?
they start pulling you.
I was just talking to, and like, kind of allows to be pulled away, but is still like.
And TJ says, go play with the kids. It'll keep them occupied while I bring the rest in. I'll get one of the others to help me get stuff. He heads out.
Might want to grab Volney. I think he's next strongest overall.
All right. I'll get a couple of them. There's a lot here. I'll get them all helping me.
Fair.
He comes out. Well, William is now playing with the kids. It looks like. Why don't y'all grab a bottle or a barrel and let's get all this stuff in here. Evangeline, I am not asking you to lift that stuff. Maybe take a couple of bottles of wine. You can look like a guest rather than a worker. You don't look like a worker anyhow.
Well, thank you.
Would I have been able to pop a few tires while we were waiting through all that?
I don't think so. I mean, you're just
All
not
right,
thinking
that's
about
fine.
it at this point. I think no.
Oh, soldier work.
No, but you're standing, by the door and looking in, and it's all right. They're all going to help me bring the bottles in and the barrels. This stuff's heavy, All right, go on in. You can get it done.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Stay away from Mama. She ain't feeling great.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And
It sucked when your parents don't feel well.
and
As they're coming in, is there a chance I can catch eyes with Volney as I'm being dragged off?
sure. Eyes.
I
eyes.
just make I would say direct eye contact and like bug eyes and just like no, like scared and confused and worried. And just like directly at the other perceived sane person currently.
All right,
And
Cade.
is dragged off.
You hear from inside. All right, Cade, you came here to plead your case. So come on before, we got to get you done and out of here. We got other stuff to do other than deal with you and your mama. And one of the tall boys, maybe the tallest, comes over carrying a knife on his side. Comes towards the table and gets to a certain point, then goes down on one knee and bows. Of course, I feel like we need more in our society. There are only a couple of women, and there are no wives for nobody. And Mama here is getting really old. We need to get a few more if we can. And she looks, and the one that's speaking to her is Sella. What do you think? What do you think, Jennifer? You know what? We are working hard at other stuff. We will get you another mama soon enough. We got other things to attend to, but I promise you are on our agenda. We'll find you some wives. There are a lot of people who owe us things, so we will make sure that the debts are paid. And if the debts mean spouses for you all, we'll make sure of it. You just keep doing your job, and we'll make sure we take care of you and your mama and your family, right? Yes, thank you, Isabeau. I am not called Isabeau to you. I am not that friendly. You can stick to Jennifer. So, when do you think we'll hear back from you then? you'll hear back from us when we say we're ready. And I would say we're not ready yet. You probably need another month or two. So I am not comfortable with giving you an answer that is going to be a week or 2 weeks. We need to align some people and make sure that the debts are commensurate with what they would need to be offering up. You know, it is not easy for people to just give up their daughters to marriage to folk in the woods. A bunch of feral folk don't need to go bothering them in the town. You're gonna make them very angry and whatnot. We will take care of it. I promise you. And I know, and you know, when I make a promise, I stick to my promises. Yeah. Yes. And
Annie, I'm about to pop off.
And
John, I have a sense that something's going on. I don't know if it's me losing my sense or.
They just talked about stealing daughters, Annie.
I know, but Volney has wings.
what'd you say there? What'd you say, ma'am?
Oh, hi, game warden. It's just that
Are you gonna keep bringing the booze in? We really would like to get this done. We got other stuff to attend to, you know.
Of course. Welcome to Guilty Hole. Here's your booze.
Yeah, can you get it in? Like, we got kids in here and stuff, and they're really running around with, I guess, one of your coworkers and whatnot. So, kind of in.
Do we see the wheelbarrow, the wheelchair? Is that like in plain sight?
It's not. It's off to an angle that at the door you can't. If you go in the room, you would see it. You would see the.
I thought we were bringing the booze in.
Well, now you're starting to bring the booze in. The rest of you were. So when you get in, you do see the wheelbarrow off near what looks like a table where all the booze is being lined up. And there's a tall man standing over there and another one walking back towards her. Annie, you notice that the knife on that person, the tall person, it has the handle of the bread knife that you remember from your vision.
All right. I whisper over to Jer. I'm like, she's definitely here.
Who?
You can put it right there. That table's fine. You got more out there, Mr. Booker? Yeah, I got more. There's plenty more. We're gonna make sure you all are. I wouldn't say fed, but you won't be thirsty. That's for sure. This is my friend Evangeline here, by the way. She accompanied me up. I hope you don't mind.
Yes, here. They asked me to bring in a bottle just to help out. I don't understand why.
And Sella's eyes widen. Oh my gosh, Evangeline.
Oh, hello.
It is.
How are you doing?
Such a wonderful surprise to see you again. I am so happy that you're here. That's so nice.
A pleasure. Here, have this. There.
She comes over and she takes the bottle from your hand. And when she does, she makes an obvious moment of like her hand touching your hand. Like almost too obvious. I gotta say, although you're like, you look like you've been like roughed up a little bit tonight, you still look quite nice.
Thank you. Yes, I did have to take a rather fast drive through the wilderness, but outside of that,
is that a Boston accent I hear?
Yes. Educated, but yes. And I'll turn around. Who do I see? And is it someone I know?
It is someone that you recognize from when you were a kid. There was a gentleman that showed you through a tunnel, and he was the owner of a hotel called the Fillmore. And you remember that weird tunnel that had the weird squid things? I'm Benjamin Fillmore. I'm a hotelier. What are you doing out here in Guilty Hole? Somebody from the Northeast, such a nice place, coming to a place like this.
You probably don't.
He doesn't
remember
recognize
me.
you.
But I remember you. I was a child at the time. You gave a tour to me and my mother. down in the tunnels underneath the Fillmore. I remember the mural, or the tile work of the tentacled creature.
And he looks surprised for a moment, and he looks at the other ones, and he comes back. Oh, you must be mistaken. I don't know what you mean by the tile work. What? And Petrick.
Evangeline.
And Petrick.
Evangeline Blank.
Oh, I know your mother.
Yes.
Well, what an odd coincidence to run into somebody I know here in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, I'm down here studying the people in this town. I'm a sociologist and an anthropologist. I study people. What a small world this is.
I thought, says this older man that you have run into across the road, that you were a vole hunter. You were all vole hunting. And this is the tile maker.
Yes, my friends were vole hunting, but I study people. I was with them observing.
So, is your mother still alive?
Oh, yes.
I guess the drink will keep you alive a lot longer than the food.
Oh, she's downright pickled.
You know, I would love to get together sometime and just talk about old times, see how your family's doing. But we do have a bit of meeting time we got to take care of tonight. Can I get perception checks from everyone?
Have we seen Annie's mom yet in the wheel?
You do, as you're in, you do see the wheelbarrow off to the right. And there's one man standing next to him. One of them goes past the one with the knife and goes into the kitchen.
I rolled a 1. I'm so taken with this moment that,
13.
Like I said, I'm trained. What are we going for?
Perception?
And I rolled a 4, so I'm.
I mean, what's the
target number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the target number a secret.
Thank
Okay,
goodness.
fair enough. That is an 11,
And
but
Volney?
I'm willing to burn an edge.
I think a 9. I can't read very well right now.
Fair.
Volney. 13, and if it's intellect, I have an edge.
You do have you can add that then.
Oh wait, I'm
Yeah.
also trained. I'm also trained. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trained in perception, and I got.
Okay.
I'll use an edge and an
I also
11
got an edge.
bump my
So what does that make?
11 up. I got an 11.
11. So that means you're now going against. Okay. So William, you did not make it. Volney, you.
Fair enough.
What did you roll?
9.
You didn't make it. What did you get, Jericho?
13.
13. Jericho, you see the cart where the blanket is covering an old woman, and for a moment you think you see a really dark kind of figure walk into a wall from another spot, like a ghost or a booger. And it's just for a moment, and then it's gone. But that's a little bit behind them, and it goes into a door that is closed with a lock on it. It just disappears down that hole. When that happens, the woman kind of looks to the side, and when she turns back, she pulls her cowl off, and she sees you and the group, and she stares at Annie so long, and a tear runs down her eyes. I'm so sorry. And this is where we're going to break.
We should have just firebombed this place. We shouldn't have talked to anybody.
We needed intel though. I couldn't just go full Scarface yet.
You mean Scarface?
Yeah,
Oh.
literally Scar.
Volney, control your army of weasels.
What's going on?
Mice. I got it wrong. They're like mice. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, they are.
Retcon it. I thought they were weasels. They're just mice.
I was gonna say
Wonderful
voles are
GM
like short-tailed
Scott.
mouse.
Yeah, that's what brought
they're
up
like
shrews.
little mice.
That's why I
thought
brought up
it was-
shrews earlier.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
GMing
that's
pace
fine.
was brutal and so anxious building. I loved it.
It was better that we were wrong.
Yeah. It was better. Yeah, it's true. It was better we were wrong.
If we were wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week for the finale of the show. It is going to be an amazing one. I
And
love
he's not
playing
an
with this
orphan.
group.
We gotta. Does it have to be? Come on.
All right. Have a good night.
Great job,
everybody.
everybody.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Night, guys.
Burning rock, crackles smoke out of the mountain's mouth, hollowed by a cut, by a slash, by a fiery blow. Running through the valley like it's running through my veins, while red-eyed crows keep watch underneath the blood-red moon. My slunch white soul cries out to rise up against the tide of dusty songs cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain stone.